Hey everyone, my name is Katie and welcome back to my channel. Now, you may be wondering why I have a crown on my head, and that's because I'm about to film my TBR for the Book Junkie trials, which if you head on over to the lovely Rachel Marie's channel, you can learn more about that in her announcement video, and she is the queen. I am but a lowly peasant that ordered a crown on Amazon because it is like the closest thing to an accessory for the little video I'm like, fine, so you know, whatever, she's the true queen here, but I just like things that sparkle. So, I am going to be talking about all the books that I plan on reading for the Book Junkie trials in the month of July. I'm so excited. It's like a quest style read-a-thon. It's really cool because it's like you go through a map to each location, and then like to surpass that location you read the book that matches the prompt. So it's kind of like an adventure game and definitely a really cool and different read-a-thon. So again, thank you so much to Rachel for organizing all of this. It's amazing. I am on the mages or magi. I don't know how the plural is, but anyways, I'm a mage, and so I'm going to be talking about all of the books that fit my TBR for those challenges, and then I'm also going to be doing books for the rest of the challenges. We'll see if I get there, but might as well just give it a try. And then the reading rush, formerly known as Book Depository, which I took part in for the first time last year when I first joined BookTube. It was such a great time, is at the end of July, so I have basically engineered my TBR so that I can participate in both the Book Junkie trials and the reading rush. So first I will be going through my books for my TBR for the Book Junkie trials, which I hope to complete within like the first 2 weeks of July, and then I will be going over the books that I have planned to read during the reading rush, which is the last week of July, and then whatever else pops up in the middle will be the rest of the books that I have set aside for all the challenges. It is a lot of books, but I've tried to engineer it so that I have books, like a mixture of books, audiobooks, ebooks, and all that jazz to kind of change up the format instead of 17 straight novels, which would just never happen. So, you know, I got some graphic novels, some manga, some audio, some ebook, some regular book, some arcs, some hardbacks, some paperbacks, you know how it is, spice it up a little bit. So with that being said, I guess let's go into the challenges. And in this readathon, you have to go in the order of the map because it's like you're going along the map, but you can read multiple books at a time. So if I have things that are in a different format, I'm going to be trying to read them in different, like in order, but like start one in one format, then start the next one in another format, see how that goes. So, the first challenge is the Orchid Grove. Some say that there is no talking to orcs, but a good political relationship is needed. Learn some orc customs by reading a book that is gruesome, gory, and gritty. And for this challenge, I'm going to be reading The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. I got this one at BookCon. I wasn't even going there with the intention of getting this book, but I'm so happy I did. I mean, look at that cover. You can see my BookCon haul to hear the story behind it, and I also think I talk about getting this arc in my BookCon vlog as well, so I will leave links to those. But such a great time, and my friend Madison over at Princess of Paperback has read this book and said it's her now her favorite book of 2019, which is pretty high standard. So I want to give it a whirl and see, and I just already know I'm gonna love it because me and Maddie, like, our reading tastes are basically the same. The crows are the lowest caste in society. With no inherent magic of their own, they must rely on being thieves and assassins to survive. When Crown Prince Jasmir has to flee from a ruthless queen, he strikes up a deal with Fee, the future leader of the crows. Protect him and he'll make sure that the crows have good standing in society when he's the ruler. They set out on a journey along with Tavin, Jazz's body double, who may start to yearn for more than just being in the shadows. I'm super excited for this one, and that's why I'm getting started with putting it at the top of my TBR. First stop on the map is this fun little book here, and I just want to read it, and like, I'm so excited. And it's an arc, and like, I don't know, it's just kind of something cool about like getting a physical arc at BookCon and like reviewing it before it comes out. Like, I'm just so excited to do that. Next stop on the map is to the sea. Arg matey. We have the Old Pirate Cove. Shiver me timbers. Can't take myself seriously. You shall be walking the plank if you don't learn how to sail better. That just completely dissolved into some sort of accent. I don't know what. Read a book that takes place, at least in part, on the sea. And for this one, oh my god, I'm so excited because this morning I randomly looked on my NetGalley account after not looking on it for like a while, and it turns out that my wish was granted and I got an e-arc of The Girl the Sea Gave Back by Adrienne Young. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I'm excited for this one. This is by the author of Sky in the Deep, which came out last year, and I actually got it in my first ever Owl Crate box, and I thought it was really sweet and cute, and I enjoyed reading it, and now I get to read. It's like a companion book. It takes place in the same world, but different characters. So I've actually heard that this book takes place 10 years after the events of Sky in the Deep, and we have two perspectives, our new main character Tova and Halvard, who is the younger brother figure. I thought this was completely different, but no, it's in the same world, but different scenario. Tova has lived among the Svel ever since she washed up on its shores as a child. Her own home and clans are a long forgotten memory, except for her ability to truth tongue. Now the two clans to the east, aka the two clans from Sky in the Deep, have joined forces, and the chieftains of the Svel looked to Tova and her truth tongue abilities for advice on whether they should set into motion the beginnings of war. But all Tova has longed for her whole life is a place where she belongs and can call a home. Just sounds fun, and I like the first book, so I think I'm gonna like this book too, and the fact that I got a wish granted for an e-arc is just so cool. And these are both books that the first two books that I picked are both books that I definitely want to have reviews up for before they are released, so perfect timing. This readathon will motivate me to read them. Next stop is Glimmer. This island is light with gems and crystals, one of the most picturesque spots in the High Queendom. Make sure you fit in with a beautiful or colorful book. And for this one, of course, I had to pick Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I didn't get to this one in June, but oh my goodness, I want to read it so badly. And I mean, look at this cover. Look at it. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna stop being weird. Well, probably not, but you know what I mean. This book, I loved Enchantment of Ravens, which is Margaret Rogerson's other book, and this one is the same thing. Well, it's not the same, it's by the same author, but takes place in a magical library, which, I mean, can you get more perfect? Can you get more perfect? She has just such beautiful writing, and I'm so excited. Anyways, instead of me just screaming about how excited I am to read this book, maybe I should tell you something about it, because, you know, that would be useful. Elizabeth is a foundling in the Great Library of Ostermere and has spent her whole life training to protect the evil spellbooks known as grimoires. She's also been raised her whole life to believe that warlocks are the source of all evil since they use these evil spellbooks. She aspires to be a warden, the protector of one of the most evil grimoires in the library. However, when a powerful grimoire is released and Elizabeth is framed for the crime, she must flee and turn to her sworn enemy, sorcerer known as Nathaniel Thorne, to unravel a centuries-old conspiracy. Elizabeth begins to question everything she knows about love and sorcery. Just sounds perfect. Like, oh, I swoon. Like, I'm going to swoon reading this book, and I'm just gonna be so excited. Okay, I need to calm down. You need to calm down. Next stop on the map is the Draconic Isle. Oh my, this island is swarming with wyverns and dragons. Brush up on your draconic knowledge by reading a book that features dragons. And for this one, I referred to a video by my lovely friend Jade over at the Jaded Reader, which has some dragon book recommendations, and so I realized I had way more dragon books on my shelves than I thought, and so I picked this one, The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill, and I got this one in the Owl Crate box, and I'm so happy that I did because look at it, it's so cute. I actually saw this in the store. It's like normally gigantic, but I like this cute little mini version. It just seems like the cutest book ever. Greta is a blacksmith apprentice who's drawn into the world of caring for tea dragons when she accidentally finds a lost tea dragon at the market. As she befriends the tea dragon caretakers, she learns just how meaningful these tea dragons are to the lives of those that care for them. My heart, and like, look at the little tea dragons. They're so cute. I want one. Anyways, I just thought that this is such a lighthearted and cute little book, and since I'm loading up the front of my TBR with a lot of long books, Need something short in there, short and sweet, and dragons, but cute dragons. And of course we have the Bookie Grail. Here you find a lost manuscript, delivered on a forgotten land by a fallen star. Read the group book, Stardust by Neil Gaiman, and I'm planning on reading this on audio on script. So Stardust used to be like my favorite movie when I was little, but I kind of forgot about it for years and have not seen it in a long time. So I'm excited to listen to the audiobook and then watch the movie. So that would be really fun because I just remember adoring that movie. Is it on Netflix? I think it might be. Don't quote me. Everything is quaint in the town of Wall, named after the big wall that surrounds the town. Tristan Thorne is lovelorn over the beautiful Victoria Forrester. In exchange for her hand, he has vowed to go and find and deliver a fallen star. This oath sends him on a journey over the wall into strange and mystical lands. I don't know, I just remember seeing this movie so long ago, and like it's in my memory as this movie that I loved, but I don't really remember much about it, so I don't know. And I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. As mage, my ability is a tricky folk. They can bend time and start 3 days early, so that's perfect. And a weakness is one of their spells went awry, and now they are forced to read a book outside of their comfort zone. And for this one, I'm actually going to be using The Girl the Sea Gave Back as my book out of my comfort zone because it is an e-arc on NetGalley, and I've never read one of those books where I'm basically getting a book in exchange for a review. So to me, that's kind of out of my comfort zone because I never really have a book where I feel like pressured to write a review. But now, because I'm getting this book because of the sole purpose that I requested it, it's a little out of my comfort zone. So that's what that is for. All right, so the way that I'm going to structure the next part of my TBR is I'm going to be talking about the reading rush. So the reading rush is taking place July 22nd to July 28th, and please add me on the website for the reading rush. You can find me at Katie's Book Nook 426. I'll leave a link to my profile down there because I still really haven't found how you can search for people. I don't know, anyways, add me. I'll be friends with you. I want to be friends with everyone, and I'm excited. And I am hopefully going to plan on vlogging that week. I don't know, last year I did like a vlog every day or every other day. That's a lot. I might not do that this year, but who knows, a girl can try. So what I'm gonna do now is just go through the challenges for the reading rush and say my books as I normally would, and then I'm gonna go back to the other challenges that are the rest of the Book Junkie trials and show you where I'm fitting in my reading rush books into those things. So basically my plan is to have my like team books that I have to go in order for the mage done before the reading rush starts, and then have a separate set of books for the reading rush, which the way that I plan this, I have a lot of like shorter books or books in different formats that will make it easier to juggle. So I think I'm setting myself up for success. First challenge is read a book with purple on the cover. So for this, I'm going to be reading Waiting for Spring, Volume 1 by Anishin. Yes, so I've actually never read a manga before, and this is the first ever manga that I'm going to be reading, and I'm so excited. I actually got this as a gift from my lovely friend Madison when we were in the city together shopping for books. I should have a vlog featuring that. I don't know when it's going up. Honestly, it might be up, it might not be up. Well, it'll be there sometime in the future. Anyways, she's like, you need to start reading manga. I'm gonna buy one for you and you're gonna read it. And I said, okay. So this is the one she bought for me and I'm gonna read it. And this is a shoujo manga, which is more like rom-com-y, and it just seems really cute. And I saw Madison's manga recommendations video for beginners, and also Jade had another one too where they go through how to read them, because it is, you read it in the opposite direction. So both of those videos are very helpful. I will link them because you should watch them. And yeah, I just like, manga was never a thing that I encountered as a child, even though I think I would have really liked it. I just never did for whatever reason. So now that I'm on BookTube and I see all these people loving all these manga series, I'm like, you know, that is something that I would really love. And even though it's intimidating because it is from like a different culture and you read it differently, I'm excited. I'm excited to get into it. Mizuki is a soft-spoken girl who enters high school with one goal in mind. She wants to open up and make some new friends. But the 4 stars of the basketball team are not exactly what she had in mind for her new group of friends. However, the group just clicks when they come into the cafe that Mizuki works in. And now Mizuki must learn to navigate high school with her new group of friends. I don't know, it just seems really cute, and I'm excited to, you know, read manga. It's been a long time coming. I'm excited to dive in. Challenge number 2, read a book in the same spot the entire time. This I will be doubling up with another book. So that'll be just either Waiting for Spring or my next book. I will just stay in the same spot to read it because they're not that long. I could probably read them in one sitting. Otherwise, I do kind of like to move locations when I read, so I don't know if that would work. Okay, read a book you meant to read last year, and that is going to be Onyx and Ivory by Mindy Arnett. This is going to be my big fantasy read of this week. So this book has been on my radar for a long time. I have not read it. It was actually a gift from Maddie for Christmas. So thank you, Maddie, for stacking this TBR with books you have gifted me. I guess it's time that I get around to reading them. Anyways, BookTube friends are wonderful. Thank you, my friends. All right, emotional moment over. Okay. They call her Traitor Kate. Her father tried to assassinate the king years ago, and now Kate lives as an outcast as a member of the Imperial Courier Service. The land is plagued by night drakes, deadly flightless dragons, but Kate has an edge. She's a wildler with the power to control the night drakes, an ability that is punishable by death. Her ability leads her to save a caravan that is being attacked by night drakes in broad daylight. The only survivor is Corwin, her lost childhood friend and first love, the second son of the king. Now their fates are tangled once again. Next challenge, read an author's first book, and for this one I'm going to be doing The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, which I've been waiting for the audiobook at my library for like ever, and I finally realized it's on Scribd. I don't know why I didn't realize that before, but I found it on there, so I'm gonna listen to the audiobook. Star splits her time between her poor neighborhood where she lives and the fancy neighborhood where she goes to school. Her world is shaken when her best friend, Khalil, is fatally shot by a police officer when he was unarmed, and Star is the only one to witness it. As his death makes headlines, the only person that knows the truth of that night is Star. And what she does with that knowledge has the potential to upend her community and even endanger her life. I mean, this is such an impactful novel that everyone has talked about. There's also a movie adaptation, so I may perhaps use that for a book to movie adaptation. I may perhaps use another book. We'll see, but I do want to watch the movie after reading, so I will watch it. Next challenge, read a book with a non-human main character, and for this one I'm going to be doing Saga Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples, and this is a graphic novel series, and I was actually gifted this by the lovely Elle from the Ellie Effect. Thank you, Ellie. This was a beautiful birthday gift, and the artwork is just really cool, and it's about aliens, so they are not human, as you can see. Saga is about two soldiers from the opposite sides of a never-ending galactic war who fall in love and have a little baby. And they risk everything to bring this new fragile life into the universe. And this is just a highly acclaimed graphic novel series, and I just like love the way that comics feel. And this will be easy to just kind of read quickly, and this I might count for my read a book in the same spot, or I'll count Waiting for Spring. Whatever one, I just sit in the same spot and read. Read a book with 5 words in the title, and that one I'm going to do Waiting for Spring Volume 2. I'm counting that as 5 words. I do not have it yet, but I will have it by the time that this starts. So, you know, it's pretty easy. I figured I wanted to choose like one big chunky book, one big audiobook that'll take me the whole week to get through, and then a bunch of smaller books that make it easier to read so that I can hit all the challenges. And last but not least, read and watch a book to movie adaptation, and I'm either going to be doing The Hate You Give, or if I have enough time, I'm going to be reading The Lightning Thief, which is the first book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, which everyone has been telling me to read. All right, Percy Jackson, I'm sure a lot of you know, but it follows Percy, who finds out that he is actually a demigod, the son of Poseidon, and is sent to a summer camp for all of the demigods called Camp Half-Blood. I mean, super fun. The camp is on Long Island, which I'm from, so that's pretty cool. And him and his friends must set out on a journey across America to unravel a mystery and find the doors to the underworld. I don't know, I just really like this whole idea of incorporating mythology into a fun, unique, modern setting to kind of learn about the mythology while also having fun. So I'm just gonna, you know, make my way through all of the Rick Riordan books. Now I'm gonna go in the order of the rest of the challenges in the Book Junkie trials that aren't the mage challenges, and then like fill in the blanks of where I'm gonna be fitting my Reading Rush books and other books that I have picked for those challenges that are for either. Crimson Peaks. These peaks are about to blow. Reread a favorite to soothe them into dormancy. And for this one, I'm going with The Lightning Thief, Percy Jackson #1. And I read this one when I was so young, but I remember loving it, and I think it's time for a reread now. Queendom Stone, the Stone of Royal Majesty. What are the royal customs of other lands? Read a book featuring royalty, which I mean, like, every book on my shelf is a fantasy book that features royalty, so this wasn't hard to choose. I'm gonna go with Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. I've had this one on my shelf forever, and I've heard it's really good political maneuvering and not necessarily battle focused, but like political thinking focused, which is cool. Theodosia was 6 when her mother, the Fire Queen, was murdered and the Kaiser took power. Kept hostage by the new regime, Theo is crowned the Ash Princess and forced to do unspeakable things. Theo must use her smarts to outmaneuver the Kaiser and his terrible reign. Yeah, I've heard cool things about it. I mean, this cover, I just think this is a series that I'm really going to enjoy, and I hope, you know, that I get to it eventually, because I've had it for like a while. The Forgotten Forests. All these open series, the forest knows and feels your forgetfulness. It will sing a mournful lament, tormenting you until you read the next in a series. And for this, I'm choosing Shadow and Flame by Mindy Arnett, which is the follow-up to Onyx and Ivory. So if I finish Onyx and Ivory and I get to it, I want to at least start Shadow and Flame, because this is a duology, I believe, and I kind of like just, you know, reading series in chunks like that. So I think it'll be good to read those two in succession. The Weeping Falls. To pass the rapids unscathed, you must give in to the falls. Read a tearjerker. For this one, I'm gonna go with The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I mean, it's a heavy, heavy emotional topic, so I'll probably cry. So that's why I chose this one for this one. Dwarf Mountain. You spot a fair tavern wench. However, the dwarf mind's grimy and dusty. Don't evoke a very romantic feeling. Read a book with a hint of romance to get you in the mood. And for this one, I'm gonna read The Chase by Elle Kennedy, which is not a hint of romance. It is all romance, but whenever I'm counting it. And this is in her like Briar University series, but like the second generation. So we have the Off-Campus series, which are the first 4 books, and then The Chase is now like the Briar U series. So I'm kind of trash for this series, what can I say? Basically, we have Summer De Laurentiis, who is flighty and fun and has just transferred to Briar University and moved in with a group of guys, including her brother's best friend. Her roommate, her brother's best friend, Colin Fitzgerald, aka Fitzy, is not her usual type. Tattooed, video game loving, hockey nerd jock, who she would never usually go for, yet sparks fly between the both of them. I'm just trash for the series. I'm excited to read it. I'm gonna read it. Apothecary Towers. Where the wizards dwell. Tricksters. They have blindfolded you and randomized all your books. Choose a book at random from your bookshelf. And I'm choosing Waiting for Spring Volume 2 from my bookshelf that is currently in my Amazon cart, because that's the only one that I have for the reading rush that I couldn't fit into any of the challenges. So that's what's going on. The Great Library. The Great Archives. Find and read a book that has been on your TBR forever. As I mentioned, Onyx and Ivory has been on my TBR forever, so I'm going to read this one. The Drowning Deep. The whirlpool is so mesmerizing. Read a book with rich world building that will suck you into its own world instead. And for this one, I'm going to be choosing The Fever King by Victoria Lee, which I got on sale for $1.99 on the Kindle store. I think that sale may still be going on, so check it out because we love cheap books. And this is actually a dystopian, so the world building is a little bit different than traditional fantasy, but I think it'll be good. I don't know how to pronounce the main character's name. Well, I don't want to butcher it. Gnome? Noam? I'm just gonna say no. Gnome is the son of undocumented immigrants who has always fought for the rights of refugees that are fleeing from magical viruses. But everything changes when he wakes up as the sole survivor of a magical viral outbreak. With the sudden ability to be a technopath, now he's thrown into the magical elite of the nation of Carolina, where he encounters cruel and beautiful minister's son. I've heard great things about this one, and I already have it on my Kindle, so it's time to go. The Elvin Guard are surprised by your visit and are immediately on the offensive. Read a book with war, military, or political themes to learn how to help calm the situation. And for this one, I'm gonna go with Saga, since this is basically about 2 soldiers and love on opposite sides of a war. Seems appropriate. On the Hollow Isle. Lurk incorporeal monsters and the ghosts of your past. Read an atmospheric horror book to pass this test of nerve. And for this one, I'm going to go with Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessel. I'm probably going to read this on audio since it is on script. Beatrice and her 5 best friends return to her hometown seaside estate on the anniversary of their 6th friend's death. However, everything changes when a mysterious man knocks on the door and tells them that they are stuck in a Neverworld Wake. time has stopped and will only move forward when they choose one of them to survive the night. I mean, if that doesn't sound atmospheric and horrible, I don't know what does. Empty Barrel Inn. Everyone deserves a swig or two. Some say it even aids in warming up those vocal cords. Enjoy an indulgent read. For this one, I'm fitting in Waiting for Spring, Volume 1, since it's so cute, I'm super indulgent. And last but not least is The Giant Squid, Fearsome Fellow. Read a book that intimidates you, and this should be for a doddle. So I'm going to go with Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan, and the reason I'm choosing this one as it intimidates me is because I am going to be part of my very own book club, and it's going to be the first book that we read for the month of July. It's called the Overhyped Book Club with Majel, Kendra, and Karina, and I'm so excited. Please check us out over on Twitter. We've not figured out when the live show will be, but as soon as we have those details, we will post them. And we took a poll on some overhyped books, and this is the one that won, so we're giving the people what they want. And that's intimidating to me because I have to like read it and have very good coherent thoughts about it to discuss it. So in The Wicked Saints, we follow 3 main characters: a girl who can speak to the gods, a prince in danger, and a boy with a monstrous secret. Together, they must assassinate the king to stop the war. And heard good things about it. It's really pretty. It's been on my TBR for a while. I just haven't gotten into it yet, but some may say it's overhyped, which that's why we're reading it for the Overhyped Book Club. So that's that on that. All right, and with that, that may be the craziest TBR video I've ever made. How am I gonna read all these? I don't know, it's about to be a crazy month. So anyways, please check out all the videos that I have linked because I've mentioned a lot throughout this video. And yeah, please let me know if you are participating in either the Reading Rush or the Book Junkie trials. I'm so excited that I've found a way to participate in both because I do not want to miss out on any of the awesome events that are in the bookish community, and I think it's going to be a great time all around. And yeah, let me know if you are planning on reading any of the same books, or if not, what book you're most looking forward to reading in the month of July. And with that, have some fun, read some books, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.